degrees with mostly cloudy skies currently in Beaver County. And the freeze warning that Lisa Marie mentioned will be in effect from 11 p.m. tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Rush Hour is just getting started on Beaver County Radio. It's time for Driving in the Fast Lane with Frank Sparks. It's the show that talks about what's happening in the news, locally, regionally, and nationally. There will be guests, and Noah Haswell will have the news at the top and bottom of each hour. You're in the Fast Lane. And now, here is the host of the show, Frank Sparks.
Hey, good morning and welcome in on this Monday morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Boy, we had a good time throughout the weekend out at the Big Knob Maple Syrup Festival. Boy, it was a good time. I was out there Saturday, Scott was out there Sunday, but we'll talk about that coming up shortly. Today, we've got a lot we're going to talk about. We're going to start out hour number one talking with Dr. Michelle McKinley from the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit and Dr. Carol Sprinker from the Right Promise. And we're going to be talking about something pretty cool that's coming up, some events. It's going to be happening here in Beaver County next month. And also, we're going to talk today a little bit later at 11 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about the Buccos, of course, and the Penguins. And we'll talk some about that Maple Syrup Festival. And District Attorney of Pennsylvania, or Attorney General, I guess, Dave Sunday has something new, a new scam that's out there he wants to warn everybody about that has to do with meeting up and giving people cash. So we'll talk about that as well. But hour number one, like I said, we're going to talk this morning. Joining us here in studio is the Director of Curriculum for the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit. That's Dr. Michelle McKinley. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
And also Dr. Carol Sprinker. She's the Executive Director of the Right Promise. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Remake Learning today. So I didn't realize that it's in its 10th year, and I was not aware of that. Dr. Sprinker, you want to tell us a little bit about what Remake Learning is?
Sure. Remake Learning Days is an international learning festival and is designed to help children and families discover the joy of learning together. And some of the highlights of Remake Learning Days is that events feature free hands-on events where children can explore creativity, science, technology, art, outdoor learning, career pathways, and so many more things together with their caregivers, their parents, their grandparents, all across our community. Events happen in places that people already know and trust, places like schools and libraries, museums, parks, community centers, and local organizations. So, and we've got a lot of those special places here in Beaver County that are going to be highlighted this year.
Absolutely. And Dr. McKinley, tell us a little bit about the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit and how they got involved with the Remake Learning.
Well, we've been connected to Remake Learning Days and have a representative, Susie Emmett, you've met before. She's our specialist around science. And so I think with Remake initially starting years back, it was really kind of STEM related, but has definitely grown and expanded to include many, many community events to just be able to get the word out about those. So we have, over the last couple of years, become more involved with just being a voice to our schools to encourage them. Because really, with our schools, like Carol said, it's a trusted place to go. For families are already there, but they can be a host site and then get a lot of really great free publicity through Remake Learning and then engage the communities even beyond the family base, right? So like she said, grandparents or, with Remake Learning, even out because it has existed outside of Beaver County, it really is just meant to bring people together. So just because you're a Beaver Countyan doesn't mean you only can go to Beaver County events. On the Remake Learning Days website, you can go to events in Cranberry Township, in Westmoreland County, anywhere really in Western Pennsylvania. Okay. I believe it was started in Allegheny County, and then it's just grown and grown. So we've just have been interjecting ourselves as much as we can of being a voice for the goodness of building community and bringing people together.
Is there any idea on like how it started and who started it?
Yes, actually, about 10 years ago, the White House contacted some of their colleagues in Allegheny County who were very committed to education and said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could have an education festival that mirrored some of the really popular music festivals that are held all over the United States? And Pittsburgh, we thought about it and we dreamed it up. And the very first Remake Learning Days Learning Festival was held really in the Pittsburgh area in Allegheny County. And there were a couple of sites, but it was just so well attended. Families really enjoyed spending time together in these different learning atmospheres that they typically didn't have an opportunity to do so. And it's expanded quite significantly since then. And so over the last 10 years, it has grown to become an international learning festival, very much what the White House had envisioned from the very beginning. It's taken some time to really take off, but it's now all over the world. But the biggest hub, the biggest center of Remake Learning Days is here in southwestern Pennsylvania.
So this is actually the first year I've heard of it, to be honest with you. So is that the combination of everybody kind of putting together to get it out there more? Because I noticed, Michelle, you kind of wanted to get the word out a little bit more. And Carol, it seems like since the Right Promise has come on board over the last few years, more and more education has more of a forefront in Beaver County. I don't know if that's kind of like the mission of the Right Promise, but it seems like that's what's happening is more and more you're able to see that.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and that is a desire of the Right Promise that we would be able to celebrate education and all of the great things that are happening here in our county. And specifically with regards to Remake Learning Days, we have now the Remake Learning Council they have some additional supporters that are now out in different counties, and that was they were strategically placed in counties that have been typically underrepresented. So I would say Beaver County may have been a place that we would have liked to have seen more events. And so they challenged the Right Promise by saying, hey, Right Promise, because you have been so invested in Beaver County, would you like to help us promote Remake Learning Days? And to that end, if you can get 10 new events, we will sponsor 10 of those events with grant funding to have an event for the very first time. And so we challenged ourselves with trying to have 10 new events because it's the 10-year anniversary of Remake Learning Days. And one of our biggest partners has been the BVIU and Michelle, and she's been so supportive of that. And we're really excited to say that we've really exceeded our goal, and we've gone way past 10, and now there are going to be 26 events.
That's awesome.
Happening in Beaver County over the month of May. So May 1st through the May 31st, there are going to be 26 family-friendly free events for families in our region to attend. And like Michelle said, you can go to all 26 of those ones in Beaver County, but you're also open to attend any of the ones in southwestern Pennsylvania that seem like a good fit for your children.
Now, how long has Beaver County been a part of Remake Learning? Has it been the whole 10 years?
We have some districts that have been doing it for 10 years, and some community partners that have been doing it for 10 years. It may be just maybe a breakdown of communication. Certainly, grant funding always helps support to grow anything. So I know that's been, a big help for our districts. And the best part about all of it is it's really, equal opportunity. Like it's equitable for anyone to go because you can pick any site, any day, and that fits for your schedule and go for free, which is amazing.
Do all the school districts participate in this each year?
They do not.
Okay.
No, because May, as you know, is a little bit like December. Anybody that has children and they're
very busy,
invested with either sports or dance or life.
Prom this time of year.
Prom, all of those things.
Right.
So May can be a little bit of a challenge. So we have grown some district participation and trying to have them just think about how they might just have something already going on in May and how they might extend out and do a greater catchment area of, okay, you might be having a choral concert, but might you add in a snow cone truck and maybe a food truck and be able to extend to remind the community that you're celebrating the arts in some way. And so some people have rethought and are doing some things. In some districts, they have wonderful, fabulous STEM nights or story walks, but those are always scheduled in February or March just to avoid state testing. So it just depends. But we have certainly more than just school districts as a part of it, so that helps for all the areas of our county.
I was going to ask you about that. I see that there are some other, the Neighborhood North Museum, also some of the libraries being a part of it as well.
That's right.
So
yes.
Pretty cool. All right, 724-774-1888 and 843-1888 if you have any questions. We're going to take a very short break, and we'll be back with more right after this here on Beaver County Radio. A life-changing personal financial address for over 500 Beaver County junior and senior students will occur at the first ever Beaver County launch on Monday, April the 27th at Blackhawk High School. The keynote speaker and CFP, Dale Alexander, is known for his inspirational talks, and each student will receive a free copy of his book called The Talk About Money. Beaver County launch is organized and hosted by Flick Financial. The event is being sponsored by The Right Promise, Geneva College, Portage Learning, Flourish Beaver County, Job Training of Beaver County, 3Chord True Wealth Management, Bethany DeLuca State Farm, and Remake Learning.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
Are you frustrated by high copays for your generic drugs? Stop overpaying and start saving. Discover Forward RX, your local cost-plus pharmacy in New Brighton. At Forward RX, we believe in transparency and affordability. No insurance middlemen, no inflated prices, just the true cost of your medication plus a simple fixed markup. Join the Forward RX family today and experience the difference. Check out our medication prices online at fwdrx.com or give us a call for a price quote. Forward RX. Come for the savings and stay for the service.
A lot has changed since 1885. That's when my great-grandfather, William Andrew Hartzell, opened the doors to our family-owned and operated funeral home. This is William F. Rick Murphy from the William Murphy Funeral Home Incorporated in Rochester. Together with my son, Brian C. Murphy, we represent a business that is now flourishing into its 5th generation. Throughout that time, we've had the pleasure of experiencing many of local memories that have made Rochester and the surrounding area so great. I'll bet many of you can easily recall the H.C. Fry Glassworks, Barnett's Bootery, or even Kaufman's Department Store with its massive double-decker parking lot.
To put things in perspective, my family was already serving others at their time of need before the automobile had even been invented and the aforementioned businesses started and ended. Our commitment to serve our community with dignity and compassion has allowed the William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. to preserve a business legacy that spans nearly 140 years, and we're still here. To contact us, visit our website at William Murphy Funeral Home, Inc. or call 724-775-0309.
This is Greg Brown, broadcaster for the Pittsburgh Pirates, here to remind you that Moon Township Ford is your premier destination for all your automotive needs in western Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia. Browse through their new Ford models and gently used vehicles of all makes and models. Check out their website or visit them on University Boulevard in Moon Township. Whether it's a home run at the ballpark or a vehicle from Moon Township Ford, the excitement is the same. Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Are you a fan of the historic high school sports history that we have in Beaver County? Beaver County Radio and the Fry Transportation Group are proud to introduce Way Back When. Every Sunday night at 8 p.m., Beaver County Radio will rebroadcast a classic high school game in its entirety. You'll hear the call of famous Beaver County Radio sports broadcasters from the past and present as they take you way back when. Tune in this Sunday, April 26th at 8 p.m. as we go way back to the 1949 state championship game between Aliquippa and York. The Quips, coached by Sam Milanovich, were looking to cap off an undefeated season and bring Beaver County its first ever state championship. Way Back When is presented by the Fry Transportation Group and brought to you by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, The Hangar, and Beaver County Radio.
You're driving in the fast lane with Frank Sparks on 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. You can also stream live on beavercountyradio.com.
We are back. It is 10:23 in Beaver County, and I don't like saying the temperature because it's only 37 degrees, but we'll get back to them warmer temperatures later in the week. Visiting in hour number 1 is Dr. Carol Sprinker. She is from The Right Promise, and also Dr. Michelle McKinley from the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit, and we are talking about Remake Learning Days in Beaver County. So one of the things I wanted to ask you was with these different events, you said they're free, Carol?
All of them, yes. That's one of the requirements.
All right. Do you have to pre-register for any of them, or?
For some of them.
Okay.
And we would like to make sure that we share the website for Remake Learning Days. I think, Michelle, you have that pulled up, right?
Yep, it's remakelearningdays.org.
And so just in case you are going to an event that does require registration, we do recommend that families check out the website just before they go to an event to make sure that they have completed any registration requirements for that particular event.
Do you want to highlight some of the events?
We would love that.
Okay.
Yes, we actually, this coming Monday, or next
It's
Monday.
the first one?
Monday,
Yeah.
April 27th.
Blackhawks kicking it off, I believe.
Yes, they are. They're going to be the host for what's going to be the first Beaver County launch. And that is being sponsored by a number of people and being led by Flick Financial. Gibson McCracken has been a lead on that and has brought many organizations together to kick this off. The Right Promise has been involved, as well as Push and State Rep Roman Kozak, as well as our chamber, and the Remake Learning Days. So it is the first Remake Learning Days in Beaver County, and what it's going to center on is what's called the Talk. And the Talk is a speaker, Dale Alexander, who is going to talk about financial literacy, financial fitness, and that is open to high schoolers. And I think currently we have about 500 students registered to attend.
It's awesome.
And as well as some other leaders and leadership throughout the county and even right beyond the county to offer this out. So very excited about this inaugural event. I know there's been a lot of work with a lot of partners to go into it, and will be a great kickoff hosted at Blackhawk Auditorium.
And Gibson's going to be my guest on Thursday, I think at 10 o'clock Thursday, to come in and talk more about it. So, and then we'll be broadcasting live from out there Monday as well, doing some interviews. So hopefully Scott can get with Dale Alexander and talk to him, because he seems like he's upbeat. Carol, I really liked who you had picked out for EdFest last year. That was, I haven't seen you since then. That was great.
That was a great day.
He was an excellent speaker, so that was a great day.
Yeah, and we're excited also to bring in a national speaker to speak directly to our high school students as they prepare for that next step in life. And so we think about our high school seniors and how much they have in front of them, and often forget that some of the decisions that they're making right now have a really big financial impact on their future. And so we're excited to hear Dale really speak truths about what does it mean to take out a college loan, or what does it mean to take a gap year, or what do all of these decisions mean that you're making in terms of your financial future, and giving them some really good advice. I do believe that all of the students that attend will also get a copy of his book, which they'll be able to use as a resource as they plan for their financial futures.
They need that swift kick in the butt, you know what I mean? Because you don't really know. I mean, think about the transition. I remember going from high school, and then transitioning into life, and it was like, there wasn't really anybody to guide you back in the 80s when I went to school. And it's like, nowadays it's great to see that there's that, somebody that can guide you along, and somebody like this that can kind of give you that swift kick in the pants of reality of what's going to be happening in your life.
Yes. And it's a good time to be really putting these things into our school curriculum and into practice, because the Pennsylvania Department of Education has recently required school districts to have financial literacy courses. And so this is a really nice supplement to what the schools are putting into place in terms of what we might read in a book. And now this is the practical application of some of the things that our students are learning. So it's really great timing on Gibson's part.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the other events that are coming up?
I'll highlight some of our districts. I'm going to start first with New Horizon, because that'll be a big one that is open to everybody on a Monday. And so it's going to be 11 to 2, and that's in mid-May. So May 18th on a Monday. And they are doing a whole feature around of hands-on activities, which will include painting on canvases, seed planting. They're going to do a special focus on robotics and unified robotics. So the students there, as well as some other students that will be supporting from North Allegheny Robotics team, and do what's called build, fly, code. So they'll have drones that they actually are working with, programming and using at this event. And then WQED will be there live on site and be featuring what's called Museum on the Move, and there will be fresh popcorn and frozen treats, and so they're super excited about that. They are going to provide lunch, so they do ask that you RSVP for that event by early May, and that will be again on Monday, May 18th. And I'll feature some other ones coming up. Do you want me to keep going?
I'm just going to let you do this job here. I mean, because you've seen Noah walks in the room, so now you know. That means you've been here a lot when you know it's time to do
Noah
news.
looks like he's ready.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. All right, we're going to hear from our Monday morning race recap first. Tyler Reddick, a winner once again in the NASCAR Cup Series, and then Noah will be in with news here in a minute on Beaver County Radio.
5 wins for Tyler Reddick in 2026. I'm Tim Catalfemo. This is the Monday Morning Race Recap brought to you by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco. Performance is what we do.
Down here, Ryan Blaney gets 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does.
Sunoco cans injected to the car, Bubba Wallace down and away.
All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR. From the track to your tank. Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR.
Tyler Reddick pulled off a last-lap pass on Kyle Larson in overtime at the Kansas Speedway on Sunday to score his 5th win of 2026.
I was glad we were able to get back to the 5. Was really surprised we had that kind of grip on the right side. Just took advantage of it and was able to make the move.
Reddick's 5th win of the season is now the most wins in the first 9 races since Dale Earnhardt accomplished the same goal in 1987. Sunday afternoon's race featured 17 lead changes and just 3 caution flags. Race winner Tyler Reddick led just 10 laps total en route to the checkered flag, with Kyle Larson finishing in 2nd. Chase Briscoe was 3rd, Denny Hamlin 4th, and Bubba Wallace rounded out the top 5. Other notables include Brad Keselowski, who came home 6th. 8th was Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney 24th, and Kyle Busch 35th. Tyler Reddick continues to remain the points leader after 9 races complete in the 2026 season, with Denny Hamlin jumping to 2nd in the standings, 105 markers behind. Ryan Blaney is 3rd in the standings, followed by Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson. The next stop for the NASCAR Cup Series is a date at the Talladega Superspeedway. The Jack Links 500 goes green in Alabama on Sunday afternoon. And with the Monday morning race recap on the Motor Racing Network, I'm Tim Catalfemo.
Local programming controlled by local people. It's the Beaver, 95.7 FM and 1460 AM WMBA. Coming to you live from the St. Barnabas Control Studio in Brighton Township.
Beaver County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning. On this Monday, April the 20th of 2026, there is a freeze warning in effect from 11 p.m. tonight until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. A body was recovered from the Ohio River on Friday. According to an Allegheny County Police Department spokesperson, the body of an adult man was found just after 7 a.m. near Neville Island. WPXI crews saw first responders working to recover the body at the Chestnut Street boat ramp in Swickley. The Allegheny County Medical Examiner's Office is working to identify the man, and the investigation into this incident is ongoing. The Beaver Valley Choral Society formally announced this week that Pittsburgh resident Dr. Douglas Jade Byrne has been appointed the organization's new artistic director and principal conductor effective June 1st. Sharon R. Burchell is retiring from these positions to devote more time to her family and teaching career. Dr. Byrne will conduct the BVCS Principal Choir and supervise the BVCS Orchestra, Jubilation Bells, Mary Inman Honors Handbell Choir, and Treble Youth Choral. Dr. Byrne will lead the BVCS organization in several appearances as part of Beaver County's America 250 celebratory events this summer. The native of Richmond, Virginia, previously served on the collaborative piano faculty at Westminster College, as an instructor at the University of Arizona, and as a teaching fellow at the Hart School. Pennsylvania State Police in Beaver reported via release yesterday that 35-year-old Nathan Syback of Pittsburgh was arrested after an incident of disorderly conduct occurred in Bridgewater Borough on Wednesday. Police were called to Roberts Roadside Inn at approximately 11:55 p.m., and an investigation led to the bartender identifying the disorderly male suspect as Cyback. Charges for disorderly conduct have been filed against him. PennDOT District 11 announced that lane restrictions on Route 68, Midland Beaver Road in Midland and Industry Boroughs will begin today, weather permitting. From 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays through late May, there will be single lane restrictions on Route 68, Midland Beaver Road as needed between the Shippingport Bridge and Industry Street, as crews from D&M Contracting will conduct gas line replacement work for People's Gas. Flaggers will also help with traffic control. And an environmental advocacy group is voicing concerns about a Trump administration budget proposal that cuts funding for multiple Chesapeake Bay restoration programs. Here's more from Danielle Smith.
The plan would slash the overall EPA budget by 52%, threatening grants for tree plantings, oyster restoration, and other water quality projects. Keisha Setlacek with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation says the federal cuts would leave cash-strapped Pennsylvania struggling to meet its commitments to reduce pollution to the Susquehanna River.
Since 2020, 3 of the major grant programs that were either slashed by 90% or 100% in the budget has provided Pennsylvania with approximately $237 million for restoration efforts.
She adds that the foundation is urging Congress to pass a budget that ensures nearly 19 million residents have clean air, clean water, and healthy communities, since the president's budget does not meet these needs. Danielle Smith reporting.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
A freeze warning remains in effect through 9 a.m. Tuesday as patchy frost is expected through mid-morning. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny today with highs of 47 and lows of 28. And tomorrow, look for gusty winds with lots of sunshine, along with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening. We'll reach highs in the mid-60s and lows of 54. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
Hot coffee in the morning and Frank Sparks. Now you're in the fast lane. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and streaming live on BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Currently 39 degrees, overcast here in Beaver County. No will return a little bit after 11 o'clock with more news for you at 11:05. Joining us here in hour number 1 this morning is Dr. Carol Sprinker. She's from the Right Promise, and Dr. Michelle McKinley. She is from the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit. And we've been talking about Remake Learning Days. And, of course, I tell you guys put the headphones on and the collar drops off the air. Yeah. So if anybody does have any questions or comments, you can call at 724-843-1888 and 774-1888. One of the comments on social media does say, Davey said he worked the last Build Fly Code at Ambridge High School.
Yeah, so it was an event that we hosted. The IU helped to organize that. I think it was a week before last. And we had students from 10 different school districts that had signed up to attend. There were elementary students, middle school, and high school students. And Ambridge was a gracious host in their field house. And there were drone events planned for the kids to work through and do different challenges to learn to fly drones or experiment with the drones. And then we did have some community partners that were there also, talking about how drone is used in their field of practice. So we had emergency services that were there talking about drone usage with the students. And then we also had Shell had a sponsor there. They were talking about was a drone in a cage and how they use the drone to go into different pipes to diagnose maybe things that are happening.
Oh, wow.
And just some real state-of-the-art technology that the kids were exposed to. So it was a wonderful event. I think we had close to 90 students, and we had volunteers and sponsors that brought the students, and it was great. It was the first time we did that, and we're hoping to be able to expand and do that again.
As soon as you said drone, that told me why Davey was involved. He loves his drone. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's amazing technology. So yeah, I'm glad that we're able to offer that at the New Horizon Remake Learning Days, and I believe we have some other. I just saw it. I'm looking. It'll come to me. But we have some other Remake Learning Days where drones will be featured as well.
Well, highlight some of the other ones. We started talking a little bit before news of a couple of the events, but highlight some of the other events.
Sure. So again, these are all in May, and I would encourage you to go to remakelearningdays.org. And then you can just put in the area you would like to search and by date, see what works with your schedule. But as far as for Beaver County that are school-based, we have Beaver Area School District is hosting 3 different Remake Learning events. There will be one May 6th at College Square Elementary, and that will be an evening event on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And they're calling that the Community Brick Club and Art and Story Walk Night. So essentially, you're going to be able to build with Legos and use your imagination with Legos. There will be other opportunities for play and critical thinking, and just a great collaboration of teamwork with parents and their kids in that environment. Additionally, the Beaver School District is offering at Dutch Ridge Elementary later in May, Thursday, May 21st at 6 o'clock. They're partnering with the Dutch Ridge Garden Club, and that will, of course, be all about growing things. So it will be their annual Sprout and Sell seeding sale, and students will have been busy growing a variety of plants. So these are student-grown plants that they've been working with them, and they'll have a sale there. And then arts and crafts will also be connected into that. And the one I was trying to think about earlier is connected to the Beaver Middle School. That's Thursday, May 14th at 5:30. So notice, a lot of these are during the week, in the evening. So again, to try to bring families together. We do have some during the day, but this is hitting during the week time. Beaver Middle School, May 14th at 5:30, will be hosting their 3rd annual eSports Invitational Tournament. So do you know what eSports is,
Absolutely.
Frank?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's bringing kids together to compete.
That's going to be cool.
It's a real deal, right?
Yeah.
A lot of our schools actually have esports teams where it's a club and students come together and compete against each other through gaming.
Yeah.
So gaming's not all bad, everybody. It actually can have some really good qualities, some critical thinking that's involved with gaming. And so they're going to have some 3 to 5 minute long competitions against opponents from other schools during that time. And all families are welcome to come and check that out and learn about that, because that's been up and coming, and it continues to expand.
That's pretty cool that they're starting to incorporate that into learning and doing things. So I just learned last night that, you can use your phone and use it as a controller and play games on Netflix. Never knew that till last night. I learned that.
Of course you can.
I was like,
right? There's all these things we don't know about.
My 8-year-old taught me. I'm like, really?
Get ready. She'll be teaching
I
you
don't
lots.
know. I don't know whether to be embarrassed or what at this point,
No, it's impossible to know it all. There's so many things that are so fast evolving, right?
Yeah. So with these events, do you have to be from the particular school district or the particular town that it's in?
Not at all. In fact, that's one of the goals of Remake Learning, is to branch communities, kind of across the divide, just coming together with whatever might interest you, or an activity to, entertain the kids. Also, a lot of times there are snacks, and who doesn't like a good snack? Or a meal. I know Midland is hosting a couple of events where there will be meals involved. Those are the ones that typically want the RSVP.
Okay.
So that's, again, why I encourage people to go on that website, because if there's food, they need to know how many people are coming to plan for it, right? And they probably have some people that are helping to sponsor those events. So just out of a courtesy to make sure you sign up. Midland and Fry are partnering together Wednesday, May 6th at 7:30, and they're doing a whole community movie night. So that's going to be in the community park, and they're going to have dinner, snacks, giveaways. They're going to do a bug-themed arts and crafts activity. So that will be a lot of fun, and they're very excited about that. And then in addition to that, they're going to do a couple weeks from that time, and on May 21st at 6 o'clock, they're going to do an annual art show and community night. So that will be at the Midland Borough School District to just recognize the hard work of students and celebrate the arts.
There's a little bit of variety for everybody, really.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the new events that will be in our county this year for Remake Learning Days is going to be on May 9th at the Beaver Valley Mall. And we're really excited about this one because this is a partnership with Communicycle Beaver County. And if you don't know anything about Communicycle yet, they are on a mission to make sure that everyone in our community, everybody in Beaver County that wants one, has free access to a bike, a helmet, and to be able to learn how to ride that bike. And so they're going to be doing a bike distribution at the Beaver Valley Mall on May 9th. And children ages 6 to 18 are eligible to get a bike and a helmet. They're going to be able to have a bike course there in the Beaver Valley Mall to learn how to ride that bike. They're going to learn some safety tips. And they'll be able to pick out a bike that's a really good fit for them. There are hundreds of bikes ready to go at the mall, and we're excited to have families come there, have their children pick out a bike, be able to learn how to ride the bike, and be able to leave that day with confidence that they can ride their bike in the community. So that should be a really fun one.
Yeah, that's an amazing organization. I think it just started with a couple of people. A wonderful woman I work with was telling me how she knows the person that kind of partnered with who the lead is there and starting it like in a church and then just sort of growing that and serving children and families by providing bikes. And I just love that. Inspiring kids to be outside and ride.
I think his name is Lee. And
I think you're right.
If I remember correctly, he was volunteering with his church in a community. And he was helping to build a ramp on a home. Mm-hmm. And there were some kids hanging out around there and just kind of curious about what was happening. And they had bikes, but they were broken. And they asked Lee, hey, do you have any tools that might be able to help us fix our bikes? And so he said, well, I don't have them on me, but let me take your bikes. I'll help you fix them up, and then I'll get them back to you. And then they told their friends, hey, I know this guy who can fix bikes. And so Lee said, hey, tell your friends to come see me, and I'll help them fix their bikes. And now it's turned into a beautiful mission where he really hopes that he can build relationships with folks and make sure that everybody has a bike to ride that really wants one. So it's turned out to be quite a beautiful mission.
I think it's pretty cool. I remember when he first started doing it, he would just show up and he had a trailer and it was just full of bikes. And that's how he would show up in an aluminum trailer, and they have certain days around certain areas throughout Beaver County. And it's cool to see what it's grown into for sure.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
All right, one of the other ones that I thought was quite interesting, this sounds like it'd be a lot of fun, is going to be at the Beaver Falls at the library. It looks like Story Walk at the Loop.
Yes, which one is that?
And I did see
May
just
2nd.
this past Saturday, as Michelle, you pull up those details, they've started the installation process there at the Loop at Brady's Run. And so they've created pods with beautiful flat tops. So you can walk the loop, get some exercise, and read a story with your family.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's
so
really
it's gonna
great.
Be down Brady's Run then?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I know that the stands have been installed, but I'm not sure what the book is yet. Does that happen to be in the notes by chance?
It may be.
Book? Okay.
Yeah, we might get to that one.
She's looking for it.
Quite a few. We're sorting through here.
You might have to go to remakelearningdays.org to find that.
Right, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah, but that's the one that you were referring to, Frank, was Beaver Area Library on May 2nd at 1 o'clock, and that's alongside Fern Hollow Nature Center.
Okay.
So they're going to be digging in to learn about watersheds, freshwater fish, aquatic insects, specially designed for grades K to 5 for hands-on learning and just learning the basics of, water and how water moves through our environment and why it matters and all those good things. So that will be hosted at Beaver Library. There are a few at the B.F. Jones Memorial Library, which is in Aliquippa. Back to drones and thinking about that, that's a Saturday event, May 16th at 1 o'clock. There's a drone event in the heart of Aliquippa there, and that's ages 7 to 12 with their adults. And they're going to learn about basic drone terminology, flight concepts, and real-world uses. Davey Wagner, Captain Davey, will be...
That's what I was talking about earlier.
That's right. He will be there.
Right.
So
All right.
He's going to be able to do a special highlight as a first-person view and do a fly-along. So that will be excellent for sure. And then also at the same place, which is at the B.F. Jones Memorial Library in Aliquippa, the Genesis Collective. And if you don't know about them, I highly encourage you to... dig in and look at their website. They are another organization in Beaver County doing amazing work. and promoting all of the arts, not just arts like people think of painting, but media arts, all related arts. And they are going to be hosting in collaboration with the History of Black Aliquippa Project at that library on Saturday, May 23rd at 10 o'clock. And they're going to do a unique storytelling and art experience. So people are going to be able to paint and do a whole quilt patching of the artwork that's created there. And they'll have some recorded conversations that will play into like a personal history and really make it a meaningful event there. So that will be a little different than some of the other ones we've talked about, but very important and will be interesting for people to engage in.
What about the Celebrate Blackhawk event that's on the 14th?
Yeah, I think you have Dr. Van Atta coming
Yes.
to talk about that,
Tomorrow,
which will
yeah.
be wonderful, and she can give you lots of details, but that will be highlighted Thursday, May 14th. Again, will be a 7 o'clock event, and that will be honoring all the community members and donors and families. Anybody is welcome to be able to get together and experience firsthand about what makes Black Hawk proud. So they're going to be doing learning projects, hands-on activities, connecting with one another. So this is the second annual one. So you might have some more insights if you went to that, Carol, last year.
Yeah, it was a great community event to really showcase what's happening in schools. And it's strategically held right after a school board meeting. So we also encourage community members to come to the school board meeting, give input, give feedback. The Blackhawk School Board of Directors really appreciates community input. And so this event will be right after that and gives our community members a chance to see us talk about policy, and then them get to see education celebrated in action. And it's a beautiful showcase of learning, K through 12, examples of projects and things that the students have really put a lot of effort into throughout the whole school year. It'll be everything from science to art to technology, lots of great stuff. And I think we had over 100 people there last year, and we're hoping to at least double that. So come on out and see some of the great work that's happening in public education.
So in the last few minutes we have, do you want to recap a little bit about entire Remake Learning and everything that's going to be going on?
Certainly. So again, we would love for you to check out remakelearningdays.org. You can type Beaver County into the search engine there, and 26 family-friendly free events will pop up that are happening all across the county on weekends and evenings, and a couple during the day. And it's really, the strategy is to have families, caregivers, children, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, everyone come together in out of school kind of learning environments to engage together and to think about learning happening in multiple different places, not just in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom.
Some of the events you need to register for.
Some of them you need to register
All
for,
right.
yeah.
So where are they going to do that at?
remakelearningdays.org.
All right, and they're all free.
They're all free.
All free. Some have food, some have just the experiences and snacks. I didn't mention Neighborhood North, but they're a huge partner in our county of providing lots of activities in the Norm, in their museum. But they do have a couple events also, some STEAM nights, and then an event at Brady's Run Park also. So I wanted to make sure I gave them a shout out. But lots of organizations coming together to just provide community experiences. So it'll be good
There's
to
something for everyone.
get
for sure.
outside. The weather for sure will be nicer than it is now, and be able to.
Better not jinx us.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
And
you never know at this point.
Get some fresh air regardless, right?
Yeah.
Just get out away from the Netflix and the computer screens, and be with people.
Absolutely.
I know sometimes that gets a little intimidating, but we can get back to being with others and really engaging in some fun activities.
I also think it really promotes community pride. There are so many wonderful organizations and spaces that we can highlight in our county, and this gives us an opportunity to do just that. So we hope that a lot of our families come and participate and learn more about the organizations that are right here in our backyard.
I've always said, too, since COVID was a bad thing to a point, it was a good thing because it taught people they don't like to be cooped up in their house. So it seems like more since it's been over, people come out to public events and enjoy them more.
Yeah.
So for sure. So.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably be at some of them. You never know. Or the radio will be there.
We'll be there, and then you know, I can see a couple. I know the Neighborhood North one. My daughter wants to go to that one, and then I'm sure we'll be at a couple other ones. So
great.
I like the drone ones, so that's where I might be hanging out. So
They're very cool.
yeah. So all right. Well, in the last couple minutes we have, because we do still have about 2 minutes or so, Carol, you've been doing a lot with the Right Foundation. Tell us a little bit about the Right Promise.
Sure. The Right Promise is a grant-making foundation founded by Brian and Stephanie Wright in 2024. And our goal is really just to provide grants to organizations that help enrich and revitalize our community. Because we live in Beaver County, most of the people on our board, we have really started to make we think a big difference here. We are not just, though, in Beaver County. We are nationwide and working with organizations that really help families and children and communities thrive. That's our goal, and we make grants to organizations that have 501c3s in the area of faith, family, service, education, and leadership. And so we accept grants on an ongoing basis and love to partner with organizations who are doing good things in our community. So if that's you, please reach out. I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. And yeah, we're just super excited to also be endorsing Remake Learning Days because the events are all just so great for families. And I also wanted to mention, and I didn't want to end before we mention that our Beaver County commissioners and the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce are also very supportive of Remake Learning Days and have endorsed this work too. So we wanted to just send a thank you to our commissioners and to the Chamber of Commerce for helping promote the days as well.
All right. If they want to get more information about the Right Promise, how can they do that?
TheRightPromise.org.
Okay. And Carol, you want to throw out there one more time how they can get some more information on these Remake Learning Days and, if they want to decide to want to go or register?
Certainly. So RemakeLearningDays.org. If you're looking for an event specifically in Beaver County, you can type Beaver County, hit search. All 26 events will pop up on your screen. And then once you click into a specific event, for example, dig into history with the Beaver Area Heritage Foundation, you'll be able to see if that particular event does require registration. It will also let you know the day, the time, and anything that you might be curious about as you're getting ready to go to that event. It also tells you the different learning themes that are for each event and age groups that event might target. So everything is on the website. It's very helpful. There's maps, there's links. Everything you might need to know about attending an event is at RemakeLearningDays.org.
All right. Michelle, if they want to get some information about BVIU, how can they do that?
BVIU.org.
It's tough, huh?
That's the easy one. Yes.
All right.
Anything we can help schools with or promote community events. And the Right Promise has been amazing to help continue to support public education events as well as leadership events and lots and lots of events in Beaver County and just continue to help spread the word like for Remake Learning. So we're very grateful for that.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Frank. Always good to see you.
Absolutely. So, all right, coming up next, it's going to be Town Hall News, followed by local news. Noah Haswell here on Beaver County Radio. A life-changing personal financial address for over 500 Beaver County junior and senior students will occur at the first ever Beaver County launch on Monday, April the 27th at Blackhawk High School. The keynote speaker and CFP, Dale Alexander, is known for his inspirational talks, and each student will receive a free copy of his book called The Talk About Money. Beaver County launch is organized and hosted by Flick Financial. The event is being sponsored by The Right Promise, Geneva College, Portage Learning, Flourish Beaver County, Job Training of Beaver County, 3-Chord True Wealth Management, Bethany DeLuca State Farm, and Remake Learning.
The new-look Pittsburgh Pirates are ready to make a playoff push after Paul Skeens' Cy Young winning season last year.
Skeens wins again, striking out Shohei Ohtani, and the Dodgers still scoreless against Paul Skeens.
With all the new additions, including Brandon Lau and Marcell Ozuna, you won't want to be anywhere else besides listening to Pirates Baseball on 99.3 and 95.7 FM, along with 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. The Young Bucks are poised and ready to make a run at greatness, and Beaver County Radio is your place to tune in and listen all season long. Pirates Baseball on Beaver County Radio is being presented locally by St. Barnabas Health System, Freedom United Federal Credit Union, Balcones Moon Township Ford, Dr. C. Timothy Lip, and Beaver County Radio.
I have one question. Have you had your Hank's today? If not, what are you waiting for? Visit Hank's Frozen Custard and Mexican Food next to the YMCA today. From their famous assortment of frozen custard to tacos, burritos, taco salads, and more, Hank's Frozen Custard and Mexican is the place to go. Want to skip the line? Order on their website at gotohanks.com. Also on their website, sign up for rewards and score yourself some deals at Hank's. So what are you waiting for? Visit Hank's Frozen Custard and Mexican Food today. Hank's Frozen Custard and Mexican, a Beaver County staple since 1952.
It's a voice you recognize, the voice of Beaver Valley. Coming to you from an all-star quartet. 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and 1460 WMBA.
It is currently sitting at a chilly 37 degrees in Beaver County. Coming up next will be Town Hall News, followed by local news on Beaver County Radio.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas. In addition to